Okay, let's talk a little bit about this week's discussion or this module's discussion. The purpose here is to help you understand how family, culture, and broader systems shape child development by applying Brofenbrenner's bioecological model to your own early childhood experience. So I know sometimes it's hard to think back that far. Some of those details sometimes are a little fuzzy in our memories, but we're going to try to think back to our own early childhood, or as far back as you can remember. Okay. This activity also supports your ability to analyze how systemic factors impact development and help you build empathy for the diverse children and the families that you'll serve. So you're going to reflect on your own life between the ages of 3 and 7. For each system below of Brofenbrenner's model, and hopefully you've read about that, not only watched my videos, but we've got a whole video on his model specifically. So that should help you here. You're going to write a short response for each of these, just 3 to 5 sentences, complete sentences, describing how this particular system influenced you from 3 to 7. Okay. Or influenced you from 3 to 7, possibly in a way that has gone on to influence you for even longer. So in your post, you're going to put these headings: microsystem, and you're going to write about your closest relationships and everyday environments. What was your family like at these ages? Who do you remember anything about your teachers? Were you in childcare? Were you taken care of at home during the day? How did that work? What was your neighborhood like? Where did you live? And then the mesosystem, connections between 2 or more microsystems. So how school and family interacted, or how church and family interacted, or how your neighborhood and your home interacted, but make connections between 2 microsystems. The exosystem, systems that affected you indirectly, like your parents' workplace. We talked about that some in the lecture videos. Like if your parents are going through stress at work, sometimes as hard as parents try for it not to, that comes out at home, right? Any local policies or social services, that could be some ways that some school policies or local neighborhood policies or community policies impacted you. Did you depend on any kind of social services, things like that? The macro system would be cultural values, societal expectations, or religious beliefs that shaped your childhood. What about your culture made you who you are? The society you grew up in, society big as a whole, or even just what was expected in your community, or of you because you were a girl, or what was expected of you because of your religion, like it says. You've read about all these and you've got better details than what I'm giving you probably, but just a brief rundown. And then your chronosystem, key life events or transitions during that time. Did you get a new sibling between the ages of 3 and 7? Did your parents get divorced then? Did a parent pass away then? Did you make some big move that was life-changing? I mean, these are some big ones mentioned, but what do you think impacted you during those ages? Then, after you've written 3 to 5 sentences about each of these, you're going to write 3 to 5 sentences that addresses these questions. As you've thought about these things, what stood out to you about your early childhood now that you've created this model for yourself? And how might this activity that you're doing right now help you better understand the children and families you work with? Okay, and reflection is nice and all, but we also want to know that you're basing this reflection on concepts that you're learning. So make at least one connection somewhere in your writing, to something you've read about or a video you've watched. Okay, and be specific. Say, like it says here, as described in, and then it does need to be from the module. I want y'all citing things from the module. So author's name, and then you would include a page number at the end of that after you write about what was described there. Or if you reference a video, say the video by name, not just like it says in the video. Well, who said it in what video? So reference it specifically in your writing. And then at the end, after you've included your artifact, you would give a citation for the book or the video. And I show you in module 1 how to make citations, or how to get help making citations. Include an artifact with a brief description. Do not include a visual of Brofenbrenner's model, please. We have lots of those. So we don't need everybody to just include that. Um, if for some reason this makes you uncomfortable, please reach out to me and we'll come up with an alternative assignment, but don't wait till the last minute to do it. For it to be an option, you must reach out to me no more than 4 days after this assignment is posted. If you don't do it by then, you're stuck doing this assignment. Remember to respond to at least 2 classmates, not just, hey, I agree with you, or that's sad that you went through that, or I'm glad you learned, like something, ask a question further, like somehow that take it a step further or ask a question, but just we're looking for more than just you did a good job. Okay. And then anybody who comments to you, go back and say something about appreciating their response and something that like answers their question or continues with theirs. So to do this, we all need to not be waiting till the last minute to post. You all know that. And that's why in the instructions, these dates might be different depending on when you're watching this, but I've got instructions for when you need to make that initial post by before the final due date. So I hope that this helped you understand this assignment.